Why should Tony Gonzales resign given these very serious accusations?
There are serious accusations, and it must be taken seriously. And I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents, and he's in the process of doing that. Is my understanding. There's an investigation in the state of Texas on these matters, and has been going for some time. And the Office of Congressional Conduct has also, it's been reported. They've been looking at it. All of that was news to me. But I think, as in every case like this, you have to allow the investigations to play out and all the facts to come out. I've been intellectually consistent about this. Whether you're talking about Republicans or Democrats, you have to let the system play out.
Oh, yeah, sure. Same standard for both, definitely. We don't want to jump to any conclusions about anything. We want a very careful, well-considered investigation that takes just long enough for people to move on and to stop thinking about this. Could you guys please stop thinking about it as fast as possible? Look, I will give Mike Johnson a little bit of credit. That's more of an actual answer to a question than I've ever seen him give in a congressional hallway. That is more acknowledgement of what a story is actually about than I've ever seen him give. And I think the reason he could do that is it's not about Trump. It doesn't reflect poorly on Trump what happened. And he's mostly just happy to wait and see if people are angry enough to actually run Tony Gonzales out of office. And that said, while Mike Johnson isn't gonna be like a leader on this or anything, why would he? He's only their literal leader. There are some Republicans that are putting pressure on Gonzales to step down. And it has to do with not only the affair that he had with one of his staffers, Regina Santos Aviles, but the fact that she did then go on to die. She set herself on fire in September. It's like one of the most tragic stories that I think I've heard in the last year. Very dark, very tragic. One would think that the guy might just want to resign to take some time to think about what he's done with the affair, with the death that might have been influenced by it. But no, like all of these disgusting psychopaths, they just want their power. They don't really care what happens if people die around them or whatever. But anyway, more evidence has come out because bear in mind, not only did he have the affair, not only did she die, but he also lied about it. He's a massive liar, don't forget that. These text messages have come out where he says to his staffer, "Send me a sexy pic." She says, "I swear my life has been a telenovela for the past 7 days. You don't really want a hot picture of me." He says, "Yes, I do. Hurry." I don't like the implications of the hurry. She says, "Is this a test?" Which, since this is sexual harassment that we're seeing here, sounds like a person who's a little bit worried but is trying to find out if they have to comply with their superior telling them to expose themselves in a photo, and then says, "No, I just don't like taking pictures of myself," to which he says, "I'm just such a visual person." Yeah, he's a special little snowflake. He's not a regular run-of-the-mill gross dude trying to have an affair, trying to pressure his subordinate to expose herself. He just is a visual aesthetic person. No, regular men aren't interested in this. Almost no man wants a naked picture. He's a special guy because he likes art. Anyway, more comes out where she says at one point, "This is going too far, boss." She says boss. So how long have you thought I was this hot? I don't know if she's gathering information or whatever. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the nature of the relationship was, except that I know that it shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have been pressuring his staffer. All of this is, he shouldn't have lied about it. And so look, obviously I'm calling for him to resign. The Democrats are gonna call for him to resign. That counts for nothing because our system is ridiculously tribal and partisan. But some Republicans are. Lauren Boebert just posted Tony Gonzales resign. She is not going to accept people having sloppy public relationships. That's just not her thing. So look, but whatever, jokes aside, sarcasm aside, it's good for her to pressure for him to step down. Nancy Mace said this: "A member of Congress harassing his own staffer in the middle of the night, asking for explicit photos, pressing her on sexual positions. Regina Santos Aviles told him he was going too far. He did not care. He kept going. He is gone now." I think she meant she is gone now. Her son is growing up without his mother, and Tony Gonzales is campaigning like nothing happened. And I agree with that. We'll go on for more, but yeah, I agree. You're not supposed to be harassing your staffer in the middle of the night. You're supposed to be cajoling them to run out and get you tequila. You're supposed to be ordering them to clean your Airbnb so that you don't have to pay a maid. That's how you're supposed to treat your staffers, says Representative Nancy Mace. Anyway, she goes on to say, we have zero tolerance for those who abuse their power over others. Zero. It does not matter what party you're in, what title you hold, or how powerful you think you are. You do not get a free pass. Tony Gonzales should resign immediately and be held fully accountable for what he's done. She and her family deserve better, and Texans deserve a congressman who does not prey on women. Follow-up question. Do Texans deserve a president who doesn't prey on women? Who doesn't use his power to go after people? I like what you're saying about this guy who doesn't have much power and might be on the way out, but could we apply those standards to other powerful people, Nancy Mace? I'm guessing not. Anyway, Representative Anna Paulina Luna also said the entire Texas delegation, as well as every single other member of Congress, should be condemning a sitting member of Congress asking for explicit photos of their staff. As a woman, this is really disgusting to see. Not to mention it brings dishonor on the House of Representatives. I am so sick of people not calling this crap out. Again, like I've said before, this is not the only case of this crap up here. Representative Tony Gonzales, shame on you. And again, that is a good statement. I would say that if we expect that you not engage in this sort of thing with your staffers, and text messages coming out of the implication that it has happened, obviously she can't tell us because she tragically lost her life. But if the evidence is enough to demand that we get answers, one might think that in the Epstein files that coming out, that apparently some of Donald Trump's best friends all thought he was having an affair with a staffer while he was in the White House, might be worthy of investigation too. But whatever, I guess I'm the bad guy because I want these Republican representatives to have the same standard for Donald Trump that they have for Tony Gonzales. That is probably asking too much. So I will say, I'm glad that they at least have it for him. Usually the way it would work is they only apply this to the Democrats. I guess this is actually progress.